Hey, this is Lolo, and this is my piece for Sounds Magazine.
It's a year-round summer of love. This is how it's gonna be. Remember when you never used to see.
I got into music when I was very young. My parents are not musicians, but they have always had a huge love for music. And my mom's favorite artists were Prince and Janet Jackson, and my dad's favorite artists were Steely Dan and Al Green. And so there was a lot of soulful music going around, people like Marvin Gaye, people like Aretha Franklin, that I grew up listening to from a very small age. That definitely had an enormous influence on me still today, but in the beginnings of me finding my own music and writing and figuring out what I wanted to do. I realized that I wanted to be in this industry when I realized that you could actually write songs for a living. That could be my actual job title. I grew up very close to Nashville, which of course is a big country music capital. My mom knew quite a few writers, so she would drive me 2 hours to Nashville, and I would kind of just sit in the room, be a fly on the wall, and watch these people write, watch them work. And it was through that I realized, like, I could actually do this. If I work hard enough and I just start doing it, I can actually do it myself. And I didn't know how exactly I was going to make it all happen, but I was always a pretty determined little child. I was going to find a way.
For all the gifts I'm getting from now on, I think you're gonna see your love on me.
Panic at the Disco has always been a band that I've loved. So getting to work with them has been absolutely amazing. Also because they're just absolutely ace guys and some of the nicest people. And so that's just made the experience even better, obviously. They did little things like let me be in their music video and have me be a part of that. And then I did the Barclays Center with them in September, and that was just, amazing, absolutely amazing. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity to work with them and also be included in the journey. Mark Batson is a total legend. I think that's probably the best word to sum him up. The other word that I would use is epic. Everything that he does is just big and epic. He is a really tall, big dude with a huge presence. And probably my favorite thing about working with Mark is, of course, he's worked with basically everyone under the sun in the music industry and has made amazing records, made amazing albums. But when you're working with him, he makes you feel totally comfortable to be as weird as you want to be, as out there as you want to be, as sad as you want to be. Whatever it is that you want to do and create with him, he's right there with you. And you're able to create even more, go beyond even what you thought that you could do, because there's no limitations there by anyone. It's amazing. The song Year-Round Summer of Love was written in the winter when I was making the record, and I had been living here in England for just over 3 years. And then I went to Los Angeles to start working with Mark Batson on the record. And it was cold, but it was still like sunny and beautiful in Los Angeles and relatively warm. And after being here, it was so nice to be out of the rain and be in a place of perpetual summer. And the song is kind of about getting frisky, if you know what I mean. So, that also was incorporated into the summer element. Because in the summer, it's warm, people stay out later, people do naughtier things in the dark and wear less clothes, that whole thing.
I love the way you smash when you're there. I saw you before I was young.
I think probably the biggest thing that I learned throughout the journey is my own strength, like how strong I've had to be through certain things in my life that have been not easy, whether it's personal or work related. Moments where you're like, I'm really not very sure that I'm going to actually survive this little hill. And you do, and you move on from it and you learn. And the album that I wanted to make and that I ended up making with Mark is definitely an album about recognizing that strength within yourself and not being afraid of that, and being really proud of that, and being very honest about the things that have made you the person that you are now, and whether that's something really shit that happened or something really wonderful that happened. And it's very loud, which is what I wanted. I wanted it to be like 45 minutes of me shouting at you, and that's exactly what it is.
It's a year-round summer love.
I think overall, I want people to feel the strength that went into the writing and into the making of the album. I think what I envision when I think of all of the songs that I wrote for it is it's those moments when you've had something happen, whether it's great or awful. I think I want people to feel fired up in that way. That's what it did for me when I was creating it. So I hope it does that for people too.